After what felt like a record-breaking bottle job in the battle for third place, Aberdeen have completed a record-breaking signing. Welcome back to Fog Football. They have signed Nicolas Milanovic for a reported 385,000. You may be wondering, right, what's record-breaking about that? Well, it's a record-breaking fee for Western Sydney Wanderers, Jambo Bear.
Aye, that great club that I've never heard of before. But aye, Aberdeen making a signing just under the 400k mark, reportedly costing £385,000 to be exact. I mean, good news, I guess, for Aberdeen fans. I tell you what, they need something right now because
They've got a cup final, though.
aye, they've got a cup final. They're not going to be.
They've got an exhibition.
Yeah, that's a slow execution. More like,
Aye.
yeah, they are not having a chance at all.
It's like a defeat the streak match against the Undertaker
You
player.
know, didn't they sell out their allocation, and you know what, man, I wouldn't even be surprised if the amount of people
They might not
that's
even
bought
take their
tickets,
11 then.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you get people that have bought a ticket and don't even go. It's they're shite. They are shite. I think they are probably the second worst team in the league right now. I put them in front of Ross County but I mean, that good start this season. That got them into a good position. Then they had like a little period, probably a couple of months ago, where they just about put a couple of decent results together, and that kept them in the top six. But make no mistake about it, they are not a good team. They've been absolute shite in their last couple of games against Celtic and Rangers. No fight whatsoever. That match against Rangers I thought was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, it was bad. They have
I mean, the
lost.
game against Celtic, though, the B team, they made it one each for half time, then they're arsefold at Yang 2-1, and then they lose. I mean, and not only did they lose 5 goals, they kind of lost the head. Going in at the end, Papi Gay, they said, in Rio Atati back to Glasgow.
Yeah, Megan, they've lost every game in the split, which I'm not surprised because they've been up against decent teams, and guess what? They've lost them. And they could perhaps even lose fourth place to Dundee United. If they lose a new firm derby, they will drop down to fifth. Now, they are guaranteed a spot in Europe, but
Did they not beat Hibs in the split?
no.
Was that before the split, that game?
Did they beat Hibs?
Sure, Kevin Nisbet wonder goal.
That was a fluke. That was a one-off.
That was a one-off.
Either way, they're shite.
Doesn't matter, doesn't it, though?
Anyway, is this guy going to be shite?
Well,
Nicolas,
let's look at his stats here.
Nicolas Milanovic. So he's coming in from Western Sydney. Can he make a difference next season? Well, let's see what he's done this season. Played 25 games in the league. Scored 12 goals with 6 assists. Now, that's working out at roughly 164 minutes for a goal contribution.
I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? You can't really complain with that.
No, that's no bad.
Especially considering he's an attacking midfielder, which, he's not exactly a goal scorer, but he can play across the... he doesn't really play through the middle, but he can play on the wing as well. I mean, 385,000. He's only 23, born in November, but the big man, Jimmy THELIN, said this, and I quote, "We've been tracking him for some time, and with interest from other clubs in Europe, we're delighted he's chosen Aberdeen. He's made a real impact in the last 18 months, particularly his goal contribution and assists. He'll bring good physicality, and as a left foot at right side winger, he is the profile of a player we don't currently have. His energy and creativity will add a different dimension." End of quote. We've been tracking him for some time. Sounds like it's taxi. Because Jimmy THELIN needs one.
What do you mean?
He's been tracking his taxi. It's ordered for him. What do I mean? Jimmy THELIN needs to go.
You think he's waiting on that taxi pulling up outside Pataudry?
That's pretty much what I'm hinting at here.
He might pull up outside of Hampden.
See the one that takes this guy to Pataudry? Keep the meter running and Jimmy, take it. Because you're no good enough.
How can Jimmy end the season? What can he do to go in a high? I don't think that's happening.
Well, that's all he can do.
Does Aberdeen putting in a decent performance and losing do anything?
No.
I know that might be a low bar.
Is that no pathetic?
Yeah, but I generally don't think they can beat Celtic.
I don't think they can either, but I mean, that doesn't mean you can't. No, let's not kid ourselves, right? Aberdeen have got the players to step up to task and make it a tough game. I just think it's a tragic state of affairs when we're talking about a team that is, the third biggest in Scotland, allegedly.
Yeah,
And they've got no chance of winning the Scottish Cup
yeah,
against Celtic.
we're treating Aberdeen like they're from the third division or something. Never mind the
Yeah.
third biggest team, but I just don't really give them much of a chance. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Nicolas Milanovic is like when he comes in. Maybe Jimmy THELIN will get to manage him for a few games before getting the sack. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Aberdeen needed some good news. It's something into it, but right, it's dire right now, man. It really is.
What do you mean? Brendan Rodgers said that the thrashing of Aberdeen will have no relevance for the cup final. I mean, I think it'll mean something.
Yeah, I don't know how you can say that. I mean, it's only a negative for Aberdeen, isn't it?
I think it's a great thing for Scottish football that this team hasn't got the guaranteed group stage.
Yeah, absolutely, because I can see Aberdeen being in a rebuilding season next year.
Yeah, well, they just don't have a chance.
When they have to, bring in a new manager, and he's wanting to get his own players in the January and whatnot. So
obviously, it'll be the first. Well, I mean, if Celtic beat Aberdeen, it'll be the first time Hibs have had great group stage football or leagues. When was the last time Hibs had that? When was the last time Hibs were in Europe post qualifiers? That's a stat.
Did it happen in the early 2000s? I don't think so.
Some point in the 90s, I'm going to guess. But yeah, tell you what, I think Hibs, with Davy Gray and a few more additions, I think they'll do really good in the Conference League. I would expect them to do. Yeah, honestly, man, considering what you seem like Shamrock Rovers did, I don't see it. Honestly, if Hibs
every Scottish team should be getting in the top 24 of that Conference League, I don't care.
If Hibs get a favourable draw, they can get top 8 easy.
I don't see why not.
Because it may sound far-fetched, but seeing you look at some of the teams that go in it, here, see last year, I do kind of believe, though, that last year was a really weak Conference League to a degree, because you did see like the new Saints and Larne go through, and there was like teams like Noah, there was Phil Jagielka, there was TBSC, and there was fucking other teams like that. I mean, I would kind of be surprised if the Conference League is as bad on paper as it was last season or this season.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, was it?
But here, I hope as many home nation teams can get in, because it makes it far more interesting when we're doing the preview shows. And our favourite time of the season, what is it? I like the European qualifiers.
I think that's great. I love supporting those Scottish clubs competing, winnable games as well. Normally, you're looking at, it's not like they're taking on the Bayern Munichs or whatever of this world.
Absolutely not. So we'll be there for it, guys.
Even though Celtic almost won that one.
They almost did, but they didn't. So, but Celtic, they'll be in European qualifier action this.
They will have. I mean, they're one tie away from getting in the Champions League.
And then they might be in the Diddy competition.
Thursday nights. That's where the magic happens.
Europa nights.
You know what? Obviously, you want to be in the Champions League, but if I look at it from a Celtic fan's perspective, I think there is positives.
What's the aim for Celtic if they were in the Europa League?
I think they should be aiming to get to the semi-finals. It depends on the draw. Like, obviously, they could come up against the favourites in the quarters of the last 16, and that screws you. But I think that...
They haven't won a knockout tie, though, in about 20-odd years.
True, but I mean, to me, I think Celtic have an outside shot of winning the Europa League.
Yeah.
Under Rodgers, whereas I just don't really see how they win the Champions League. It's like I think the gulf in the Champions League is just too big.
Yeah, it is.
And now in the Europa League, you don't have the Champions League teams dropping into it either.
What about Aberdeen's chances in Europe? They got a chance of winning anything?
Fuck, they won't be in it. They won't be in it.
More chance of Hearts winning something next season.
More chance of Hearts winning the fucking Europa League than Aberdeen win it, to be fair. Anyway.
That's it.
I think Celtic and Rangers should be aiming to win Europa Leagues.
Yeah.
Or at least have the aim of getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the second level of competition.
You do feel that energy, right? See, when Rangers were in it this year, right, and obviously a couple of years ago, and even last season against Benfica, there is that belief that Rangers can get to a final and compete.
Yeah,
there's never that. It's never going to be like that in the Champions League.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? It's not, because like, even if Celtic got to the quarters of the Champions League, right, the quality of teams that are left, it's not as simple as saying, well, if we get into the semis, and then mean, obviously, you start getting that far, like, I mean, you can dare to dream and all that pish, but...
Well, if you get that far, you've done something right, I guess, but...
Aye, but, yeah, I don't think we'll ever see a Scottish team win the Champions League in our lifetime, put it that way. Anyway, leaving it there on that wee depressing note.
Maybe this big new signing will help Aberdeen win some European competitions.
Aye, maybe, aye, till then. Please.